Hello, you've caught me taking stock of 2017, something I'd usually do in December after 2017 has actually happened in its entirety. But I feel we need to do it now thanks to the absurd abundance of quality games that have already dropped on PS4, despite the fact the Earth has only got quarter of the way around the sun since we last all sat back and thought, oh, those games were good, weren't they? I just can't keep up with it. I mean, I'm saying these words in April, and already this year I've either not finished or not got around to playing at least 10 amazing games. Just slow down, 2017, okay? At least enough to let me write 7 of your games into a list and then frantically eulogise them for 10 minutes or so. Here are 7 incredible PS4 games that prove 2017 is the best year ever. So far. The year had barely got out of bed and dragged itself downstairs for a cup of coffee before our first entry arrived. Gravity Rush 2 unleashed itself on the 18th of January and made us all gasp in awe at how massive and upside down it was, pulling the rug from beneath the feet of physics and sending it spiralling into an open world that went up and down as well as just forwards and backwards. Normally, when a new open world game arrives, I like to go somewhere high and look out towards the horizon. I had to do that 3 times in Gravity Rush 2. It's got a horizon there, it's got a horizon there, and it's got a horizon there, and travelling between the unique districts of Gravity Rush 2's gorgeous sandbox is incredibly liberating. Protagonist Kat is able to alter gravity's pull and fall wherever she likes, arguably doing it even more stylishly than Buzz Lightyear. Plus, she can use gravity to kick weird gloopy monsters to death, which is way more impressive, although slightly less amusing, than my favourite use of gravity. Not even a week later, on January the 24th, the king of survival horror returned with Resident Evil 7 Biohazard, a title combining both the Eastern and Western names for the series, a bold statement that basically said, that's right, this is Resi everything, hold on to your pants. It's fine, I thought. Resi hasn't been scary for years. I'll blast my way through this in no time. Hello, first 20 minutes of Resident Evil 7, a first 20 minutes I'm about to spoil, by the way, if you're yet to play it. A first 20 minutes where you're jump scared, beaten up, D-handed with a chainsaw, and then force-fed suspiciously recognisable white meat by a family of lunatics who really need to do a spot of spring cleaning. But that's all part of the charm in Resident Evil 7. It's a game that takes the series right back to its survival horror roots, but at the same time feels fresh and utterly terrifying. It's got a first-person perspective, making the horror more intimate and intense. You've got classic Resi puzzling, item combining, inventory management, shooting horrible mould monsters in the head. It's the Resident Evil you always loved with a lick of 2017 paint. And just in case Resi 7 wasn't quite intense enough for you, you can play the whole thing in PlayStation VR. Here's Access horror connoisseur Dave putting Resi 7 VR through its paces. That reaction speaks volumes because usually Dave never gets scared by horror games. Just play this game. Even if you're not usually into horror titles, just play this game. It's atmospheric, compelling, gorgeous in a sort of, ooh, look at the detail on that slime kind of way, and short enough that you can fit it in around all those massive open world RPGs that insist on coming out all the flipping time. Entry number 3 is a massive open-world RPG called Nier Automata. This brilliant successor to PS3 RPG Nier and 5th overall entry in the Drakengard series, just to confuse you a little bit more, is the kind of game I always dreamed of as a kid. I wanted the quirky eccentricities of a JRPG, the awesome characters, the sweeping story, the massive explorable world. married to a combat system where you could wreak sweet Devil May Cry havoc on enemies, rather than stand about taking it in turns to play rock, paper, scissors with their elemental weak spots. Nier Automata is all of those things. Its post-apocalyptic setting is huge and hauntingly beautiful, the characters are a joy to play as, and combat is as liquid smooth as you'd expect from developer Platinum Games of Bayonetta, Vanquish and Metal Gear Rising Revengeance fame. What's really cool about Nier Automata is you don't even need to have heard of Drakengard to understand what's going on. This is thousands of years after all the other Drakengard titles. What happened in them doesn't matter. All you need to know is you're controlling a kick-ass combat android nicknamed 2B, sent to Earth to fight a bunch of horrible machines who forced humanity to run away to the moon. You might also like to know you can ride animals in this game, and if that doesn't make you want to jump in and start comboing your way through the robot apocalypse, I don't know what will. If at first you don't succeed, give up and play something else. Words to live by as far as I'm concerned. Words that mean I never have and never will finish any of the Soulsborne games, or entry number 4 on our list, Nioh, which is a shame because Nioh was a game I'd really love to be good at because, simply put, it's bloody brilliant. It borrows the structure of the Souls games, punishing difficulty, horrifying boss battles, one-chance runs at collecting all your loot if/when you die, but then adds the lightning-fast weapon-based combat of Ninja Gaiden into the mix, which makes for a really interesting marriage. Dark Souls rewards patience. It wants you to inch forward, tentatively prodding the darkness with your sword to see if anything leaps out and rips your head off. It usually does. Whereas Nioh wants you to take the initiative. You've got some pretty awesome weapons at your disposal, so whip them out and get slashing. Obviously, it's more intricate than that. You can't just wade through the game hammering the attack button, but the way to play Nioh is definitely on the front foot. You're an amazing samurai based on real-life Gillingham-born swordsman William Adams. You're the most dangerous thing in the entire game. That's right, that's how we do it in Kent. Sometimes games can be pretty intense, can't they? We've had intense horror in Resi 7, intense combat in Nioh, intense falling in Gravity Rush 2. Sometimes you just want a game that lets you relax, unwind. A game that lets you shoot Nazis in slow motion from miles away. Sniper Elite 4 is that game, if you were wondering, and if you're new to the series, then there's no better point to jump in. If you're a Sniper Elite veteran, on the other hand, then you already know this 4th installment is as good as it gets. The maps are bigger and more open, allowing for a proper stealthy approach, and most importantly, really, really, really long shots. Nail one and you're treated to the reason we're all here, the slow-mo kill cam. Oh yes, right through his bones. I know it's cliche, but shall we have a little montage cut to classical music? "2017, with these ferocious kill cams, you are really spoiling us." It's not just about watching bullets bursting Nazi livers like airtight crisp packets though. There are new kill cams to enjoy in Sniper Elite 4. If Fairburn manages to blow up a bunch of Nazis using shrapnel, then you get to see that bursting Nazi livers instead. But really, we're doing Sniper Elite 4 a disservice by only focusing on its voyeuristic evisceration of the Third Reich. This is, by any standards, a brilliant open-world stealth action game offering an amazing sense of freedom that feels every inch the sniper paradise that developer Rebellion Studios wanted it to be. Let's do another kill cam. Oh.
Entry number 6 needs no introduction, but here's an introduction. It's one of the biggest, best and most beautiful PlayStation exclusives ever, developed by a studio taking big steps outside its comfort zone. It's made an instant PlayStation icon of its protagonist, has a compelling story, a massive, varied and beautiful world, and it lets you kill dangerous robots in one of the most dramatic, electrifying combat systems we've ever experienced.
Near Automata.
It's Horizon Zero Dawn, obviously, and I don't think anything really prepared me for how much I'd fall in love with this game. I'd seen all the trailers, heard all the hype, shoved my eyeballs back in their sockets after watching it run in 4K HDR, but actually sitting down and playing it was just magic. Aloy moves with such smooth, predatory grace that controlling her feels utterly instinctive. She seamlessly transitions from stalking to sprinting to sliding to slow-mo aiming her weapon to firing off whatever it is you're firing.
Personally, this is my game of the year so far, even against everything else on this list, because it's hooked me like I haven't been hooked in a very long time.
I mean, I don't have time to spend 4 to 5 hours a day playing games anymore, and yet somehow I can play Horizon for 7 hours a day. Sorry, responsibilities. It was a hard choice, but in the end, responsibilities don't come with a photo mode, do they? No. Here are some of my favourite shots I've taken with some lovely music underneath.
Of course I'll be your best man, Darren. I would be honoured. I'd be absolutely honoured. We've been friends for years. I would not miss this for the world. Not for anything. Yeah. Have you set a date yet? April 2017. Yeah. Yeah, Darren, I think I'm gonna have to cancel our friendship.
Persona 5, good lord, what a game. What a game. It's the ultimate JRPG, it simply doesn't get better than this. It's got glorious stylized visuals that make you feel like you're playing through the coolest anime ever drawn. It's got characters that feel so real you'll actually start to miss them when you turn off the PS4. It's got a turn-based combat system that's simultaneously deep and simple, and man, it's just so slick. Look at that, that's an EXP screen and it's cooler than most entire games. 10 out of 10 would receive all that EXP again.
Man, Persona 5, if it was a person, it would be that kid at school you always wanted to hang out with because just being seen with them increased your street cred from -4 to 11.
But it's not a person, it's a game, and an amazing one. If you've played Persona 4 Golden on PS Vita, you'll know the deal. Make friends, capture personas, become really strong, fight horrifying demons, go to bed on time. Even if you're not usually into JRPGs or games, if you hate games, you'll still love this. It's that good. I'm going to wrap this video up right now because I need to get back and play it. So yeah, 2017, what a ridiculous year so far, and I haven't even mentioned the likes of For Honor, Mass Effect Andromeda, Torment, Tides of Numenera, Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Wildlands, Yakuza 0. Good lord! Go and play some games. There's no time. Just quickly press the like button and also subscribe for more of these videos every Friday. Thanks for watching and see you next week.